If you can't show that you understand how to get the most out of AI, you will fail each prompt engineering interview you attend. Now, this role isn't just about knowing a few buzzwords or throwing prompts at ChatGPT and hoping for the best. Nope, this is about understanding how AI thinks, solving problems creatively, and applying your knowledge strategically, whether you're using AI to automate tests, generate content, or build smarter workflows. It all starts with one thing: knowing how to craft the right prompts. In this video, we're going to walk through 10 common interview questions that you might face as a prompt engineer, and more importantly, I'll share tips on how to answer them. By the end of this video, you'll not only have a better idea of what to expect in your interview, but also how to showcase your problem-solving skills, your ability to critically think, and your willingness to learn and adapt. Basically, all the things that can make you a strong candidate and make you stand out. And be sure that you are subscribed to the channel, plus hit that little bell so that you'll be notified about each new video we put out so you can master this stuff in no time. All right, let's do this. Hi everyone, I'm Matt from testRigor. testRigor is an AI agent that lets you write QA test cases in plain English with no coding required. As testRigor is Gen AI powered, you can use plain English prompts to generate automated tests. Here, prompt engineering helps you craft prompts to generate the desired test scripts using AI. So today, we're diving into something that's at the heart of working with AI, prompt engineering. It is becoming one of the most in-demand skills out there. The better you understand it, the more powerful your results will be, and the faster you will grow in your career. So let's jump right in. Here's the first question you might face in a prompt engineering interview. What exactly is prompt engineering and why is it so crucial right now? This is the most commonly asked question in interviews. To answer this, define prompt engineering clearly, then explain its growing importance with the rise of national large language models, or LLMs. This is our simple answer. Good prompt engineering is all about writing the kind of inputs or prompts that guide AI models to give you more accurate, relevant, and useful results. See, these large AI models are incredibly powerful, but they're not mind readers. They don't know automatically what you're thinking or what you want. You have to tell them clearly and strategically. A well-crafted prompt helps unlock that potential. It steers the AI in the right direction, helps it avoid mistakes, and makes sure the output is tightly focused on what you actually need. And as AI becomes a bigger part of everyday work across industries, this skill, the ability to communicate effectively with AI, is becoming more valuable than ever. Here's number 2. Can you explain the difference between zero-shot, few-shot, and chain-of-thought prompting? When would you use each? Now, this could be tough, but to answer this question, define each term with a simple example. Also, discuss the scenarios where each technique is most effective. Here is one sample answer you might use. Zero-shot prompting is when you give the AI a task with no examples. For example, summarize this article. Few-shot prompting gives a few examples to help the AI learn the pattern, such as by showing it a few examples of sentiment analysis before asking it to classify new text. Chain-of-thought prompting is just about splitting a complicated problem into manageable chains of thought that the AI can follow. I'd use zero-shot for simple requests, few-shot for more context or where an output format is required, and chain-of-thought for more complex analytical or problem-solving scenarios. Here's the next question, number 3. How do you go about designing an effective prompt from scratch? Walk me through your process. Now, I would suggest you describe a systematic, iterative process that highlights your logical thinking and attention to detail. You can use this example as an answer. My process starts with clearly defining the objective. What exactly do I want the AI to achieve? Then I consider the target audience and desired tone. I'll draft an initial prompt, often starting with broad and then adding specific constraints, roles, or examples, and then test it rigorously, analyzing the output for accuracy, relevance, and coherence. If it's not quite right, I iterate, refining the wording, adding more context, or even restructuring the entire prompt. It's a continuous loop of defining, drafting, testing, and refining. Here's number 4. What role does context play in prompt engineering, and how do you ensure the AI understands necessary context? Now here you can explain the significance of context and provide examples of how you incorporate it into your prompts. Let's review a sample answer. Prompt engineering is all about meaning, and AI context is everything in meaning. That is how the AI does not end up giving nonsense or generic output. Without this, the model might misrepresent the meaning. I also lay the groundwork for my terms and sometimes give the AI a certain personality or persona for that to play through. Sometimes, longer tasks, I'll even break them down into smaller ordered prompts, say bringing context from step 1 into step 2. On to the next question. How do you measure the effectiveness of a prompt? What metrics or qualitative assessments do you use? On this one, you can discuss both quantitative, if applicable, and qualitative methods, highlighting the iterative nature of prompt refinement. And a sample answer you could use might be, whether a prompt is effective is a mix of a few things. In a quantitative way, for example, for classification or information extraction tasks, I could take the accuracy rate as a measure of the accuracy rate. I also verify the quality of the output to ensure it's relevant, consistent, and complete, and that's all desired constraints are met. I also consider what users say. If the prompt is for an internal tool, I'll be looking to see how efficiently and accurately it allows the user to do their job. It's just about iterating until output is consistently meeting the quality and purpose threshold. Okay, here's number 6. How do you handle cases where the AI might hallucinate or generate factually incorrect information? Now on this one, you can mention that it's a known challenge and then detail your strategies for mitigation through prompt design. You can use this example. Hallucinations are a real challenge with LLMs. My primary strategy is to design prompts that encourage the AI to ground its responses in verifiable information. This can involve instructing it to only use information provided in the following text or state if it doesn't know the answer rather than guessing. For critical applications, I'd combine prompt engineering with retrieval augmented generation, that's RAG, where AI queries in external reliable data sources before generating its response. Post-generation human review is crucial for high-stakes outputs. Do you use any other strategy? Definitely share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear that. And don't forget to like this video while you do. We put a lot of work into helping you, and it shows us that this is valuable information. Now on to the next question. Here's number 7. What are some common pitfalls in prompt design, and how do you avoid them? To answer this one, list a few common mistakes: vagueness, too much constraint, bias, and provide practical avoidance tips. An example you could use is common pitfalls include being too vague, which leads to generic outputs, or being overly restrictive, which stifles creativity. Another is introducing unintentional bias through the prompt's wording or examples. To avoid these, I strive for clarity and specificity while leaving enough room for the AI to be creative within the defined boundaries. I also actively review prompts for any language that could introduce bias and ensure diverse examples are used when necessary. Regular testing across different scenarios helps catch these issues early. The 8th question. Explain what prompt injection is and what measures you take to prevent or mitigate it. Explain what prompt injection is and what measures you take to prevent or mitigate it. As an answer, first define it, then list practical security measures. Now here's what you might say to that. Prompt injection is a process where the malicious user injects conflicting and malicious commands into the prompt, thus disrupting the AI's intended instruction set. In a way, they hijack the prompt. To avoid this, I force a clear and strict boundary between user input and system prompt, clean the inputs, and actually tell the AI what system prompt it should follow. For critical applications, the combination of these techniques and active moderation and review is needed. The next question, number 9. How would you approach optimizing prompts for a multilingual AI model? While answering this, you can discuss cultural nuances, translation considerations, and testing across languages. Here is one way you might do it. Optimizing for multilingual models requires more than just direct translation. I'd consider cultural nuances and idiomatic expressions that might not translate directly. It's often necessary to test a prompt in each target language with native speakers to ensure it elicits the intended response and tone. Sometimes a completely different phrasing might be required for optimal performance in another language. I also pay attention to how the model was trained across languages, as that can influence its responses. Now the last question is number 10. Describe a situation where you had to design prompts for a specialized or technical domain. For example, medical, legal, scientific. What challenges did you face? Now a suggested approach here, provide a specific example and highlight the unique challenges of working with domain-specific language and knowledge. One way you might answer this would be, in one of my earlier projects, I crafted prompts for an AI assistant in the legal domain. The context was to summarize difficult legal documents. The difficulty was to make sure that the AI clearly understood the very complex legal terminology and also that the summaries would capture all the legal implications, but without being too simplistic. I worked collaboratively with legal experts to develop glossaries and super specific in-context examples for how certain terms would be understood. Extensive iterative testing with domain experts was necessary to ensure the accuracy and usefulness of the outputs. Okay, so now we're done with the first video of this series, popular interview questions related to prompt engineering. If you wish to read these back and refer to them, you can look at the additional resources in the description below. If you like the content, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more informative content on artificial intelligence, software testing, and engineering. If you have any questions, definitely put those in the comments section. We will be answering them and helping you out. Thanks for watching this video. See you next time.